This is from DC, and from the source here is Gizmondo. This article is from Gizmondo. Congress rushes to pass spending bill packed with disastrous global surveillance measures. Once again, the U.S. government is facing a possible shutdown, and the House is hoping to pass a 2,000-page spending bill on Thursday. That's today. That's only been released for a few hours to avoid it. As we warned last week, an ill-considered piece of legislation has been thrown in that makes the NSA's limitless wiretapping look like child's play. All right. The Cloud Act, which is H.R. 4943, is a complicated piece of legislation that we covered in detail. This is the outlet saying this. When Senators Ron Wyden and Rand Paul released a joint statement demanding that it not be included. The legislation is framed as a solution to the growing headaches around law enforcement sharing intelligence and data across borders, among other things. All right, so here's what it does. It would give the executive branch the tremendous power to strike data sharing deals with other countries with limited congressional oversight. Foreign governments would gain the ability to request data about a non-U.S. citizen from a company storing it on U.S. soil without the need for a warrant. And they could even intercept communications and metadata of a non-U.S. citizen in real time. This is going on simultaneously while we are having a new neo-McCarthy scare when it comes to Russia. They want to knock down borders. They want open borders when it comes to spying on you. When it comes to spying on you and me, they want open borders. They want to get information wherever they want it, however they want it, and on whoever. But take a look over here. We got a story about 13 Twitter trolls hacking the integrity of our democracy. The democracy that has the integrity of superdelegates and gerrymandering and the Electoral College and a voting structure that makes sure one party stays in power, and that's the money party disguised as Republicans and Democrats. The integrity of a democracy that excludes tons of voters in different city centers in places like New York City and Detroit, Michigan. And then sets up a media so that people start wagging their fingers and scolding people with no money and no power that couldn't bring themselves to just vote the lesser of two evils once again, because they realize that doing the same thing over and over again and expecting differences is literally the definition of insanity. Balthazar, thank you so much for your super chat contribution. Thoughts on amendment where constituent can override votes by their elected rep if the majority of constituents disagree with their vote. Also, mandatory waiting period of 1 week for overrides between votes in the House and Senate. President. Oh, I'm all about that. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding? Yeah. I would love it if the citizens could override votes, especially if when something like this happens. So here's a little more from this article then, because this question goes along with this article. For Americans, the incidental collection of communications or other digital content could get wrapped up in the process, and foreign law enforcement agencies could hand it over to U.S. authorities for investigation. The EFF, the Electronic Freedom Foundation, has characterized that process as a backdoor around the Fourth Amendment. And that's really what this is. In summary, this is a backdoor around the Fourth Amendment, and it's going to have bipartisan support because the intelligence agencies want it. That's what's going on here. So yes, Balthazar, of course I favor something where citizens could override those votes, because we have a government that openly doesn't represent the people. They're open about it. They don't care. 83% of people were against the AHCA. They tried to push it through anyway. The majority of people want net neutrality. 83% of the country wants net neutrality. They got it anyway. I think 90% of the country was against was against the tax bill. They pushed it through anyway. They're not working for you. It doesn't matter who you voted for. They're not working for you. Marcus points out Doug Jones will vote. Yes, of course he will. Doug Jones will be for this. Are you kidding me? Doug Jones, the guy in Alabama that was less than 2 percentage points more popular than a pedophile. That's how uninspiring he is. He could barely beat a pedophile. He's voted with Trump and the Republicans since he's been sitting. There's your incrementalism. There's your compromise. Balthazar points out over and over again Peter Dow's resume. Peter Dow's resume is shitty jazz album, lose, 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 and lose. For anybody that doesn't know who Peter Dow is, which if you don't, that's a good thing, he is a professional loser, literally a professional loser. I'm not using loser as an insult. I'm using the word loser as a definition to properly define what he is. He is a professional loser who lost with Kerry, who lost with Hillary in 2008, who lost with her again in 2016. He works on those campaigns, any campaign he is attached to, because all he does is wag his finger at people to the left of him, which what do you have to do to be to the left of Peter Dow? Have any progressive ideas. What do you have to do to be to the right of Peter Dow? Be Mike Pence. That is what's to the right of Peter Dow, Mike Pence. Stop calling these people liberals. They're not. They're not liberals. They're not. They're not even liberals. They're not even liberals in the Phil Oakes sense. Like they're not even liberals in like they're not. Like they're conservative. That's why we Marcus coined the phrase cappuccino conservatives. We also call them Starbucks conservatives. And we really got to get that to catch on. We really do. Hey guys, thanks for watching. That was a clip from Get Your News On with Ron, the world's first viewer-curated streaming news show. What does that mean? That means I log on to a stream and people tweet me articles over on Twitter at Ron Placone, or they use our Reddit subsection, which is just Get Your News On with Ron over on Reddit. And that's how we build the show. I'm seeing all these articles for the first time. We are literally getting our news on together. Follow me on Twitter at Ron Placone so you can participate. And this show streams live every Tuesday through Friday at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please do tune in. If you want to support this show, you can do so over on patreon.com/Ron Placone, where for as low as $1 a month, you get access to exclusive podcasts every week, exclusive videos, free tickets to shows when I'm performing in your town, and more for as low as $1 a month. Please do consider it. Thank you so much for your support. This has been Get Your News On with Ron.